Welcome to another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, coming to you 6 days a week as we interview whitetail experts and hear their traditions and personal stories of the hunt. Learn more about the latest gear, discover proven tips, and the latest strategies so you can make your next hunt a success. Now, here's your host, Bruce Hutchin.
On behalf of Whitetail Rendezvous, this is your host, Bruce Hutchin, and I want to say thank you to everybody for making 2016 a banner year. Why? Because we went over 100,000 iTunes downloads. Why? Because we had over 300 guests on the show. And talking about the show, sometimes my guests are in a tree stand, sitting in a pickup truck on the top of a hill, or just don't have great bandwidth to pick up the recording. So I apologize for that. We're doing the best we can, but this is a real show with real people in real places.
This is Whitetail Rendezvous Podcast, episode number 314.
Welcome to another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous. This is your host, Bruce Hutchin, and we're going to head up to Wisconsin, my old stomping grounds just north of Green Bay, and we're going to talk with Chuck Pester. Now, Chuck's hunted all over North America for the last 30-some years, and recently he's lived down in Florida where he's hunted hogs and turkeys and whitetails. He's moving up north, and at the same time he's moving for the job, he's starting feather, fin, and fur outdoors. It's going to be produced on Gen 7 TV, third quarter of 2017. He's got a lot of interesting insights in hunting whitetail deer and hunting, like I said, a lot of critters. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hey, listeners, don't forget to text 33444 Food Plot for your free Food Plot ebook. Welcome to another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous. Hey, we're going back to my home state in Wisconsin, and we're going to head a little bit north of Green Bay and connect with Chuck Pester. And Chuck's with feather, fin, and fur. Say that 10 times real fast. Outdoors. It's going to be produced by Gen 7 TV coming up in the third quarter of 2017. Chuck, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me, Bruce.
Well, how's a southern hunter end up in the north woods of Wisconsin? You went from 75 degrees to 0, I think.
Yeah, it was actually -4 when I got up here, but it was job related. I'm a safety specialist in shipyards, and the company I was working for, it was time for a change, and I got an opportunity to come up here, and my wife has family up here, so I made the move.
Well, you're going to be happy the first time you see a full-grown, mature whitetail buck, because I know the deer in Florida they're hard to get, but I've been told the racks are bigger than the body sometimes.
Yeah, it happens. They definitely ground shrink down there. We always call them dog deer because they're about the size of a German Shepherd when you get up to them.
Yeah, and you were mentioning in the warm-up, you learned how to hunt whitetails with hogs. Let's unpack that a little bit. What does that really mean?
Well, the way I developed a real passion for hog hunting, and to be honest, the game warden who hunted one time told me, he sets up for hogs, and the whitetails become a plus or a bonus to it, because if you can get to where your hogs are, your whitetails are going to come through too. They travel the same corridors, they eat the same stuff. It's just a matter of, getting your winds right and defeating the hogs. You don't have to beat their eyes too much, but you do have to. They've got better ears and probably better noses than any whitetail I ever thought of having.
So how do you set up for them? Do you get in blinds or tree stands? I mean, you got tough cover down there.
I've done both. I've never been a big rock-on stand. I like climbers or ladders, and then ground blinds. And I usually use what I call a hog hole. I will take postal diggers and dig a hole big enough to dump a 50-pound bag of corn in it and mix great Kool-Aid in it. And the hogs and deers like it, so they all come in and check it out, and the hogs root it out, stir the corn up, and then the deer come out after hogs and stir the corn out of it.
Okay, so, Kool-Aid. Any raspberry or cherry or orange?
Grape. Yeah, grape premix. Yeah, the grape that's got the premix, already got the sugar in it. I know a lot of guys that sour their corn for the hogs, but I found that, most of the ground's so wet up there that the bottom of it anyway, so it sours anyways, and the hogs will come in and eat it anyways. But that's how I've always worked on is focus on my hogs, and the whitetails have come in as a bonus.
No, so I'm sitting there and I'm over the bait, and a hog comes in and I want to eat him, but then I know there's a big buck in the area. What do I do?
You've got to shoot your hogs. The hogs, if you don't kill 70-80% of your hogs every year, they'll overrun you. So it's more of a hog management to help your deer. The deer will come. You can call the deer in and above and beyond. And most of the time, that country where I was hunting on my lease it settles down pretty quick. I've stolen hogs with a rifle and had another one come out 20 minutes later. So it doesn't really affect them that much.
Now, do you ever hunt with crossbow or compound bow or
oh, yeah.
use rifles?
I absolutely bow hunt. I spend most of my year bow hunting. Usually, if I'm after hogs specifically, because I can hunt them all summer down there, I'll rifle hunt them most of the year. But when archery's open or when deer season's open, I'm going to be bow hunting. I'm actually going to be trying to do some bow hunting over this holiday break right now.
Because Wisconsin's still open, and is that for does only, or is that buck and doe?
No, you'll get the area we're hunting is actually some private ground on Cono County.
Okay.
And I can hunt bow or buck, and then I can also get a doe tag.
Now, that's with archery or muzzleloader?
That's archery. It's the late archery season. It's open till January 8th.
Now, Wisconsin, you can bait, right?
Certain counties, I'm still getting all the particulars down, but there are certain counties that allow baiting, certain counties that don't.
Right. Well, where we hunt down in Juneau County, we can't bait because CWD, they just don't.
Yeah, I just saw another report about that, but they're starting to lighten up on antler restrictions in that country.
Right.
Because of the CWD.
Yeah, and we killed, this year we took off the farm, one of the nephews, Garrett Shear, took a 180 gross with his bow. First weekend of the season. So we're getting bigger and bigger deer, and we were hammered pretty good there for a while, but they seem to be responding back very nicely now, and we're getting some quality deer. Plus, we don't have to worry about food plots because Eddie, puts corn and beans in and alfalfa. So take your pick. And
and that's, I think, where we're at right now is the pattern. You're going to have to be hunting a food pattern this time of year. Because ruts, unless there's some secondary rut going on, you're pretty much hunting food sources right now.
Right. And, the sugar beets and, the brassicas and stuff like that. The high energy food is what they're looking for.
Well, I know my brother-in-law baited at their crivets up where they've hunted for 20 years in this section of state forest. That he took about 500 pounds of sugar beets and scattered around to different places where they hunt up there in the fall. But they said they got to use sugar beets because apples draw bears.
Right, and there's a lot of bears. You're going to see lots and lots of bears. Wisconsin's got some great bears, but it's dang hard to get a permit. I know that.
Well, I'm going to start flying.
Yeah, you got to.
I would love to put in a broadhead through a bear.
Oh, there's some hogs. They just don't get hunted, and and just about any place there's corn, and up north of 24 there, there's bears. There's bears south of there, but they're a lot thicker in that country, and 500-pound bears, they're out there.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and you have to bring the tractor and scoop them up with a front end loader.
Well, I like to get into some predator hunting in the winter too, some coyotes and stuff too, because I grew up doing that out west.
Where out west?
Well, I was actually born in South Dakota, but I was raised out in eastern Washington State on the Snake River.
All right.
It's like wide open range country. My dad was a mechanic for a big wheat and cattle operation. I had, roughly 60 to 80,000 acres that I had to hunt between the ranch and the neighbors when I was growing up.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, because predator control in Wisconsin, we do have, there are rules, but we do have a coyote problem because they don't, they just don't get hammered enough. Not enough guys hunt them. And I know the farm, Eddie had some guys in there last year, and thinking they took someplace between 10 and 20. I don't know the exact number.
Yeah.
Just off his, acres.
A lot of people, scientists and stuff, say that there's going to be two critters that are going to survive the Holocaust. And that's going to be cockroaches and coyotes.
I was thinking of rats.
But, when I first moved south to Florida 20 years ago, you didn't hardly never see coyotes. And now, you can't go without seeing them.
Yeah, there's too much food, and you hear Wile E. Coyote, where they're exactly that. And, the predator hunters, the good predator hunters, they can smoke them. There's no question about it. And when the pups come out, that's a good time to roll them because they've never heard, squallers and squeakers and all that. And, you can take them and then as in the wintertime when the pelts are better, I don't know what's the fur runner this year.
I have no idea. I haven't done it in so long. I know I used to sell them. I had a high school teacher that used to trap the ranch I grew up on. And I'd hunt coyotes all winter, and I wouldn't mess with it. I'd just sell them to him for, $25-$30, and he'd deal with fur buyers.
Yeah, and you still could do that.
I definitely want to get into it.
Well, yeah, because I know guys, it pays for their, if they're into it, it pays for their ATV, it pays for their, their bullets and their arrows and their licenses,
Yep.
They're just chaining, turning it in. So, check into that, and you'd be surprised how many places.
Anything to offset costs nowadays.
Pardon me?
Anything to offset costs nowadays.
Well, yeah. And plus it's fun. It's a little chilly.
Oh, yeah.
But it's fun, and when you get them coming in, and you can roll them with your shotgun, that's what I like to do. I've got a 22-250 and 25-06 setup. But when I can take them with my shotgun, that's really fun because they're within 50 yards, and it's like, here they come, and they're not stopping.
Yeah.
They're not if you do it right.
Well, I've got that 835 Mossberg 30-inch barrel goose gun.
There you go.
I think it'll reach out and touch them.
Yeah. The only thing when you do that, you got to make sure, try to head shoot them because it rips up the pelt really good.
Yeah.
Well, this is a whitetail show, but folks, if you're not into predator hunting, if you got a 40, 100, wherever, and I don't care where you are in the Midwest, you got coyotes, and do yourself a favor, do your deer a favor, get rid of them. And then if you're in Wisconsin, there is a wolf hunt. And, my buddy who lives up near, Rice Lake, last spring, he showed me, a wolf carrying a fawn right through, his trail camera. He says, there goes another buck, or there goes another doe.
Yeah.
Because wolves, if you ever heard a wolf howl in the wilderness, it's a beautiful thing. But when they start pounding your deer herd and destroying it, basically, you got to do something. No question about it. Let's talk about.
Got to manage the predators.
Yep, and we're the guys to do it. There's trappers and everything, but we're the guys. If every deer hunter took a weekend.
Part of our responsibility.
Say that again. People need to hear that.
It's part of our responsibility, as far as I'm concerned, to manage your predators as well as your herds.
And listeners, think about that. And if you've never, you can shoot them when you're 30-06. You can shoot predators with a 30-30 and, take your 30-06 and take your shotgun and get set up. It's really easy to get set up. Are you going to get some every time? No, but every one you get, just think you're saving a fawn for sure. That's the way I look at it.
Exactly.
And probably more. I don't know. Cats, they eat every 7 days or so, the big cats. Mm-hmm. But coyotes, I don't know. But, they're a pack animal, and they know how to hunt. There's no question about it.
Yes, exactly.
So let's talk about feather, fin, and fur outdoors. What's going to be
all right.
Gen 7?
Feather, fin, and fur outdoors is it started out as Facebook page that I started, and then I got into some other deals and kind of let it go for a couple of years. And things changed, as they always do. And we fired it back up, and I've been driving. I've got a few sponsors. I think you've had her on before, Miss Kayla J. Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She's an unbelievable lady.
She has been a wealth of information and help to me. And it seems like just all of a sudden everything blew up. We haven't inked any paper yet, but we've got enough video that we're going to try and get everything edited and go to broadcast on third quarter 2017 on Gen 7 Outdoors. Is commuter based, but it's our start. It's three of us chasing the dream. Brian Nichols is the other member, and we're of course Kaylee's in Arkansas, Brian's in Ohio, and I'm up here in Wisconsin now. But we're going to try and wait till third quarter so we can get everything, all our ducks in a row, and get some turkey season in, and get everything edited up. We've got a title sponsor. We're still finalizing that deal. So I'll wait for that announcement. Hopefully by ATA I'll have that announcement.
Great.
We've got Carbon Skin. We've got Blue Gator Camo, which is a new company. I don't know if you've met Mr. Tom yet.
No, I know Carbon Skin. I know Gary Moore. I know Gary.
Gary. We've got Ultra Pro X cameras as a sponsor. Let Me Go Boots, which is a new company that I actually met him at Deer Expo last year, the World Deer Expo. And that's Mr. Cliff Vaughn. Really awesome boots. They're minus 50 degrees temperature good, and they're less than 2 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, they're the lightest rubber boots you'll ever put on your feet.
Wow.
And I've been testing them really hard since last summer in Florida and in Wisconsin, and they haven't failed a bit. So we're working on some more stuff with that. I've got the EasyV sights. I don't know if you've met Aaron Lasco yet.
No, sir.
He's out of Montana, I believe, right now. He's going to be at ATA too. We'll get him up in there, but it's a brand new, innovative sight that it's no pins, no need for range finding. The way the system sets up is you put the sight field in between two bars, and that's it. You're center punched every time after you sight them in. No pins, no range finder. Anyhow, but everything has just gone crazy in the last couple of weeks. I've been trying to move, and then all of this has come up. But what Feather Finner Fur is about real people, real hunting. We all work for a living, hunt when we can, getting the kids out and getting them started. I started, doing some hunting with my grandkids. They're starting to get to that age. It's just a group of blue-collar, hard-working people that are out there trying to make a living and chase dreams. So,
well, and there's nothing wrong with that because, along the way, you just mentioned a bunch of people that you've met, and I like the industry simply because we are trying to, all do it together, but we all got our own little piece of the corner like I do with my podcast. But, the people I met and continue to meet, I'm going to my first ATA, so I can't wait there. It's going to be like, I've talked to so many people, and they're going to go, oh, we're going to finally meet.
Yeah, and that's actually what happened. Was a lot of this that has really turned the corner for me was I went to the World Deer Expo. I went to the GNO show in Atlanta. I went to Buckmasters, and a lot of these people that I'm dealing with now I've met at those shows,
Right.
And it's gone from, he's always here on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Well, now there's a face to it, and it makes a difference. It's like Mr. Tom with Bull Gator. I mean, him and I had been talking for months trying to work out a deal, and as soon as he got me face to face and we got to talk for 30, 45 minutes, it was a done deal.
Yeah. And that's, coming out of corporate America and being in sales, you can talk, but a lot of people just want to see you face to face and figure it out from there. And once you do that, it's pretty easy. It's either a go or a no go. Say, when you're talking about sponsorship, everybody asks me about sponsorships, and people on pro staff know, are you talking money or are you talking they're sponsoring you for gear?
Like the one that I'm working on with the title sponsor, that's going to be product and money. Product for my staff, discount for our field staff, and then it's going to be definite dollar figure to be the title sponsor. Most of our sponsors are just product,
Right.
And we promote them for the products. We're promoting them on our web page, our Facebook page, and then, just keep plugging them away on the Facebook page is what most of them are doing right now. Now that we're going to broadcast now, that's a different deal. I have to do commercials. Part of my sponsors right now, I'm going to have to do the commercials. Part of them have got commercials they're going to send me that I'll edit into the shows. But that makes a whole new gig,
Sure. Yeah.
When you're talking commercial time instead of just a Facebook plug, it's a whole different deal.
Yeah, I remember back almost a year ago, I talked to Jody down at Gen 7, and he said, anyway, we can make a video podcast, and there are. I mean, the NFL, you look at it now, and there's a lot of people podcasting, on TV, and they're sending it out, and putting it in iTunes and everything else. And, I just don't have, it's me running the show. I do have a partner in the back end, Bob Rourke, but for the most part, if it's going to get done, it's going to get done on me. And I just said, Jody, there's just no way I can do that once we start monetizing, and anybody out there listening, if you're interested in, being part of what's going to happen in 2017, give me a call or just email me at whitetailrendezvous.com, because we're going to ATA, and I expect to come out of there with 5. I'm looking for 5 sponsors, and that's cash. I'm the only guy. I don't have a team, and my safe is full, my closet's full.
Yeah. Well, and that's the deal. Is it's a whole different deal when you're just a Facebook page and then you're going to broadcast, because then you've got a whole lot more. You've got editing. You've got equipment for editing. It's the money commitment is a whole lot different.
Yeah, and the time. I mean, just this show.
Yeah, exactly.
I figured 5 hours. 5 hours for a published show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're only talking 30 minutes, but it's about 5 hours.
We've got to have, for Gen 7, I've got to have minimum 6 episodes, 26 to 28 minutes, edited with commercials. So I've got to do all the editing. I've got to get all the commercials edited in. We did acquire a title song from Moccasin Creek. We're working on the paperwork and all the legal paperwork for that. Really good song, American themes, American promotion, happy, proud to be American type song for our theme song. So
sounds good. Say, we got a few more minutes going, and talk to me about the challenges of moving from Florida. Well, you bounce around. You've been in Alaska, you've been in Florida, Washington State. What are some of the challenges for you moving into a new state and trying to get geared up, to go coyote hunting, to go bear hunting, to go whitetail hunting, to catch trout? I mean, the whole thing.
It's kind of like everything. It's networking. My brother-in-law's from up here. He's got a lot of connections already and a lot of places to go. But I still want to, I love doing my own research and my own exploring. I love just take off and explore something, figure out how that land lays, how the critters are traveling through there. It's networking to me. It's just like doing this hunting show or doing this Facebook page. It's networking. It's talking to people. It's, hey, my new boss is a big hunter. So I've already been picking his brain about places to go, and then I got to get on the internet and start looking for land. I want to try and find a place to lease up here, so that I'm not hunting public land. But that's the main thing is networking. It's always a challenge. I mean, Alaska was easy. You could go just anywhere you really wanted to in Alaska and hunt and find stuff. But down here in the lower 48, everything's owned or the state owns it. So you've got to do your research. You got to do your chasing maps, chasing the landowners, talking to landowners. And that's the biggest thing, I think, is if you just talk to these landowners and you act like you've got some sense, I think it's not a major deal to try and find places to hunt. But, it's just doing the legwork, getting out there, talking to people, picking people's brains, exploring, getting to know the land that you find. You know, you still got to figure out all your layout, your pinch points, and your travel corridors, and all that stuff too. So it's doing all your legwork and networking, I think, is the biggest thing when you come to a new area.
And it's kind of, for me, it's kind of fun, to just, as you said, just go exploring, because you never know what you're going to find. And I've ended up in some hellacious places and start talking to somebody that's sitting in their truck, and all of a sudden, well, why don't you think about this? And, you're off and running. And it doesn't take too much. I mean, Wisconsin, we've cut a lot of deer off of 40,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's a matter of how much land even. I think it's a matter of finding the right place, and, even if you're between two big blocks of woods, you just got a 10-acre strip in the middle of it. If it's pinch point or travel corridor, it's going to work.
Right. And then throw in the predator. Don't minimize that. You talk to these guys, say, I want to come up and knock some of these coyotes down, and during the winter.
Oh, yeah, but you guys have, a lot of these dairy farmers, they got calves to protect too, and they're herd of coyotes or pack coyotes will take out a calf.
Oh, sure. And then we already talked about the bear hunting. Good luck getting your tag.
Yeah.
I shouldn't laugh, but folks, it's true.
I've heard it's hard to get.
They're hard to get, and there's tons of bear. My one friend up in Rice Lake, I mean, he's got bears all over his cameras, and they had to come in and trap some of them. They just.
Well, you've also got these. I don't know how it works, but they've got these depredation hunts all over the state that these landowners join into. And there are some of them for bear. I don't know how all that works, if you still have to draw your tag, or if they give you a tag, or how that works. I've still got to do all that research. But. Right.
Because when that corn starts milking, bears are just in there and just killing it.
Oh, I'm sure.
I use the word stupid. And, so the farmer's going, I'm losing so much a bushel, you got to do something. And they do.
Yeah.
Not enough, but they at least do it. Well, talk about.
Well,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say we're getting up to almost the soft close, but I wanted you to talk about your favorite hunting partner for a couple of minutes here.
My wife Geneva, love that woman. She is my single biggest fan. She has supported me in everything that I've attempted to do as far as the outdoor industry and in life. She's just about as rabid about the hunting and fishing as I am. She's without a support system, you couldn't do what I'm doing. You couldn't never be successful with what I'm doing without her support. And she says, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do, Just do it. If you're going to go big, go big, But she's also my biggest one to kick me in the butt when I'm screwing up.
Well, it sounds like you got a great partnership there.
She is. She is, absolutely.
I was going to say, we're at the time of the show. Why don't you take a minute or so and give some shout-outs, and then we're going to wrap the show, Chuck. Okay.
Well, I want to thank Mr. Cliff Vaughn, Let Me Go Boots. Been absolute backing from day one. Mr. Tom Martin with Bull Gator Outfitters. Awesome camo pattern. Gary Moore, Richie Butler Jr. with Carbon Skin and Ultra Pro X. Aaron Lasco with EDV Sights. Those guys have been behind me every step of the way. So, and we'll be looking forward to ATA, bigger and better things.
Yeah, like I said, I look forward to meeting you and spending some time down there. So, on behalf,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's fine.
On behalf of Whitetail Rendezvous, Merry Christmas to your family, Chuck, and wishing you well in your new endeavor there. And we're excited to see what happens down the road. So don't be a stranger, and look forward to having you on the show in 6 months and see where you're at.
I thank you for your time, and I'll be looking forward to meeting you at ATA.
Stay tuned for the next episode of Whitetail Rendezvous. We're going to head down to Eastern Kentucky. We're going to connect with Todd Duff, otherwise known as Big Red. Todd right now is sitting in his truck on a ridge, glassing for elk in Eastern Kentucky. He also chases a heck of a lot of whitetails out there in Kentucky through Low Gap Outfitters. And foremost, he's part of the Treason Tribe. Sit back, relax, and enjoy Todd Duff.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, where you can listen and learn from the experts so you can be more successful on your next hunt. Until next time, listen, learn, and succeed.